Okay, so just got to a wedding venue called Eastwell Manor. You can't really see it very well through there, but it's pretty massive, so I'm just going to have a walk around the venue, get some shots, just like establishing shots for the beginning of the gallery, and doing photo only today, so pretty excited because of normally doing hybrid, keeps me on my toes quite a lot. Photography only is quite chilled, to be honest, so yeah. Okay, so welcome to my first behind the scenes video. This is a recent wedding. I'm using a GoPro Hero 8 on my cold shoe of my camera, or hot shoe, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so this is what I normally do in the morning. Normally the bride's first getting ready. I will just have a little wander around the venue. I don't really like to visit venues before the wedding day. I just think it's a bit of hassle. So on the morning, it's really good just to have a look around, get some nice opening shots for their wedding gallery or wedding album if they order one. And yeah, so here's all my settings. I typically use either the Z6 or the Z5, and using the 85mm S lens and the 35mm S lens. I'd say the 85mm is my favourite lens out of the two, purely because of when I first started shooting weddings a couple of years ago. I had a Nikon D810 with a 85mm Tamron lens. That was the only lens I actually owned, so did my first couple of weddings with the 85mm and loved it. So now the 35mm seems a bit weird to me sometimes, but yeah, I'm trying to get used to it. So when I'm shooting the morning details of the venue, obviously I come across places like this, which is the ceremony area, but also I come across nice places like this, nice like little looking crannies where I wouldn't necessarily find had I not done my initial like scout in the morning. So yeah, always be on the lookout for good portrait locations. So as this wedding is in the summer, we have lots of flowers and things, so I like to capture all that. It just adds to the memories of the day. Also like shooting through things, so yeah, just example, there's some roses. Though it does sometimes make some really weird bokeh, is it bokeh? I think it's bokeh, or background blur. I will show you an example of that later for the portrait shoot. Lovely chairs. I don't know why some venues here in England, they like to cover up chairs with white sheets and put like massive purple bows on them, so it's always nice to see a nice wooden Chevrolet chair. So here I am, just walking around, getting a good variety of different shots. The sun peeping through the leaves, backlit, lovely. Okay, so here I get a shot of these flowers, and then I just step ever so slightly to my right to frame it a bit better. I always spot like little details like that, like the little ceremony sign. You can't really see it in the video because of the highlights are blown out, but we'll forgive GoPro for that. Okay, so I see a little bird, I think it might be a crow, and get a couple of shots of him until he decides to fly away in a sec. So the Nikon focusing system actually worked that time, so yeah, I've got no complaints about Nikon whatsoever, by the way. I think the Nikon mirrorless cameras are absolutely fantastic, and what I love the most about them is you can switch between photo and video mode pretty much instantly, which is like fantastic for what I do. Concentrate a bit on the rule of thirds there. Yeah, as I said before, I like to capture some flowers, anything to set the scene nicely before the wedding. Took a quick shot of the door before I walked through it. Here, this old manor house. Not really sure the history of it, but there's some pretty creepy paintings everywhere. So I thought I'd just grab a little shot of this. The eye detect autofocus actually works on it as well, which is pretty funny. Nice mixed lighting. I did warm up the white balance in a little bit, just because of it's quite like a nice warm room. Bit of the cake. Always start with the cake topper, and then I work my way down, capturing any little details. Normally I would move a cake right next to a window for window light, but I really did not want to risk it as it looked a bit unsteady, and you do not want to be the person who messes up the cake on the wedding day. Again, any more details you can find, any personal touches the couple have put out. And here I'm just going to run through some photos which I don't have any GoPro footage for, just so you can see the different variety of shots I take for the details before the wedding. Pretty good cake. I think that's the dessert cake. Concentrating on the depth of field, it's very much my style. I say style, I mean, and having a narrow depth of field just automatically makes photos look more expensive, I guess. A bit more expensive, a bit more professional. The blurry the photos are, the better, really. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.